Obstacles are placed in our way to see if what we want is really worth fighting for. My friends, 10 to 15 minutes each and every day. Do you want chart mastery bad enough to spend that time? Well, you've got to do it. You can't cram on the weekends. You've got to make time each and every day. Your life is a summation of what you pay attention to and put emphasis on. You can either say, hey, I've done a good job, or I've done a crappy job and I'm going to change. Now, let's jump into these charts. Oh, by the way, appreciate all the Patreon support. I want to tell everyone at the end of today's video, I'm going to put some of our more recent and most important trainings that we have ever provided to you. I'm going to put those at the end of today's video. So I do encourage you, if you are new to the channel and are trying to figure out how we do what we do here, you'll see things like the wave technique, the ATR, how to use the average true range to set your profit and loss bands, the always winning method, and the success multiplier formula. If there's some way I could stick the golden ticket in there too, I tell you what, I'm probably going to put it up at the top of the screen near the end of the show, along with how to set up our charts. So watch for all of that. I will have those first four at the end of today's video for you. So spend some time while you're off over the weekend, maybe on Sunday, and delve into some of these videos, set them up to study. Let's jump into these charts. We see stocks are down, bonds are down, gold is about flat, Bitcoin is up just a wee bit. Let's see where we are on the S&P 500. We've got 2 days of down movement, down 1.55% for the day. We had one uptick there on the 28th on Wednesday. And then, of course, things turned around Thursday and Friday, heading down. Not enough to reset the STC, but you know what? That's okay, folks. There are thousands of stocks and ETFs. We only track these to show you when they are ready to trade. Sometimes there's things to trade, sometimes there's not. When there's things to trade, you trade them. When there are not things to trade and they don't fit the formulas that we've set out that work over and over again, by all means, practice trade anything you want, but keep in mind that when you do decide to move into real money trades, you want to make sure that you know what you're doing. You're not going to go out there and play foolishly with your cash, with real money, and lose it. The first rule of trading is don't lose money. Second rule of trading, make money, but never forget rule 1. If you start losing time and time and time again, it is going to stop you from trading because you're going to run out of money. In fact, you'll probably run out of belief in yourself before that time. Now, where do we see the rest of the charts moving? 2-day is still moving down lower lows. We look at the weekly, again, touching the 200 EMA. Is it going to push through it? It might. We had that 2-day chart rotate over last week on the STC. So we again have a negative 15, means everything is moving down. And of course, that allowed us to garner about a week and a half or so ago. That was before in fact, during our trade, I believe, the weekly chart rotated over going down, allowed us to garner that 3.7% return in an inverse trade. Now, you might say, Tom, how do you make money when the markets go down? Well, inverse trades, how to make money when markets crashes. I would refer you to that video. It explains how you can use inverse funds like SH for the S&P 500 or PSQ. There are other inverse funds. Now, they have their problems with them. Take that training. You'll learn what those problems are. It doesn't cost anything to practice trade. Where are we on the Qs? It is down 1.70%. It did pop up. Didn't make it through this center band, so we did not jump into this down move. Will it work? It might. But again, we're not going to break our rules just to try to make some money and maybe get killed. We're going to let things set up the right way and follow the rules. Why? Because the rules tend to work. Do they work all the time? No, but they work a large part of the time. And that again is why I want you to practice trade, to understand, to see how it works. We don't give market or trading advice. We're an education firm. We want you to practice with us. Just like the S&P 500, we see the NASDAQ 100 down on the 2-day chart, making lower lows, more recent lows, and then we look at the weekly, and of course it is also in its second week of down movement, hitting lower lows. And check it out, we have pushed through this week with the candle. The candle's not all the way through it, but it has pushed through the 200 EMA, taking us into that bear territory. Now, we've been in a bear market. 2 quarters of negative growth is automatically a bear market. No matter what some politicians might say, that has been accepted for decades, and that is what we are in. We care about where our charts are, and when our weekly chart rotates over on the 200 EMA, pushing through it, that tells us that we're going into bear territory. Now, could it bounce off that and head back up? Of course it could. If it does, we'll be happy to, again, look at our other charts and go long when going long makes sense. Let's look at where we are on 20-year bonds. They are down for the day 1.25%. Now, we are waiting, hoping that our STC is going to push up through the center band before it moves back over. We did have an up move in the morning, and then on bonds that crashed in the afternoon, well below the 200 EMA. Like the S&P 500, we are down on the STC, and we are well below. I have to go way down to find the 200 EMA for you. There it is. Have to go way down for that. So bonds are very much into negative bear territory. Same on this weekly chart. Check out how far down we are from the 200 EMA, and we've been there for a long time. So again, I am waiting, watching. Put this in your records for next week. If we can get the STC to go up to this line or higher and then rotate back over, that'll give us a jumping in point for another short trade. TBF is the single short in 20-year bonds. Now, of course, those of you who are Patreon members that have taken our training, Options Made Simple, the Charting Wealth Way, you can, of course, practice trade puts on these things. So keep that in mind. In fact, you can do both to try to learn the most from your training. You can, in your practice account, you can practice trade both a put and an inverse fund. Learn how they both work. Very important. We got great rules established there for you for the options trading. Keep it simple, make it easy. Don't complicate things. All you're doing is potentially just giving away more money to people you don't like. They are the enemy, the people who steal your money in the marketplace. That's why you've got to be careful. Okay, let's keep moving. We go to gold. Gold is again flat for the day. We see that at 0.01%. We saw where gold popped up and again has been for 1, 2, 3 days now. Now it was up in the morning, but then it came back down to about where it ended over the last 3 days. What is gold doing here? Oh, is it getting ready to rotate back over and go down for us? Wouldn't that be sweet to give us the opportunity like we took here back in September on the 14th. We were just in for the morning, afternoon, and morning on the 15th, down 1.58%, which we sucked right up. That was beautiful. We will see if gold will set us up for that again. There's not an inverse fund in gold. You're going to have to practice trade some puts there. There is an inverse fund. It's just not liquid. You guys have heard me talk about that plenty of times. So again, put that in your show notes. Be watching for gold to potentially rotate over next week. That 2-day, we do have a 2-day candle going up. STC is still down. It's a spinning top showing us some indecision. Maybe gold's getting ready to move back up and has bottomed out. I don't know. But we look at what's going on with this weekly chart, and you can see lower low. We have now cleared an entire candle well below the 200 EMA, so gold is definitely in bear territory. So we'll keep that in mind as we get ready for next week. Now, lastly, we go to Bitcoin. Where are we on XBTF? That is the short-term future ETF for Bitcoin. I love it because you don't have to go to a crypto exchange to buy this. You can practice trade this in just a regular brokerage account. Why is that? Because it's an ETF. It's one of the 3 Bitcoin future ETFs. There's also an inverse one, BITI. You can check that out too if you want to really get a little sophisticated potentially in Bitcoin. But where are we? Well, Bitcoin has bottomed out around, again, hitting this 1820 marker. So we do see for the last day and a half trying to move up a little bit, not making much of a difference there. Where are we on the 2-day? Again, just a lot of indecision. And again, maybe Bitcoin's going to make a bottom here at the 1820. You guys have heard me say this for weeks now. I'm hoping. Here's the weekly chart, which again shows about the same thing, somewhere around this 1820 marker. So I'm ready for Bitcoin to bounce over and everything to turn around and go up. When's that going to happen? I don't know. If it does happen, well, when it does happen, I'm going to be hopeful. We'll be here to see it first. We'll be with you, and we will be practice trading it along with you. If you care about Bitcoin, you care about this whole crypto space, remember, Bitcoin rules the roost. The way Bitcoin goes, everything else follows it. That's where we are, folks. Appreciate you being with us. Thank you, Patreon members. You care about what we do here, then I would encourage you to join. Appreciate Tommy and Christopher joining us here late, or Christian joining us here lately. Thank you so much. Thank you for the other people that joined us this week. And if you appreciate what we do, the things you support tend to stay around. And we got lots of good stuff for our Patreon members. We appreciate you helping us underwrite the costs of this channel. I, of course, donate all my time. We do have some cost here related to the webmaster, the website, the texting service, the emails, all that kind of stuff. And we thank our Patreon members for their help. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.